At some point along your spiritual awakening journey, you will be called, or should I say forced, into isolation. Now, isolation, though not pleasant, is a vital part of the awakening journey, and unfortunately, we cannot skip it because of the importance of it. Isolation helps us learn and grow. Isolation affords us the opportunity to reflect and introspect. Isolation helps us build a stronger connection with Source. Isolation helps us cultivate self-love. Isolation helps us get to know ourselves better. The list goes on and on. Jesus isolated on the desert, and Noah was isolated on the ark as well. So isolation is a crucial part of the journey, and this is because of what it does for us as well as the importance of it. Before we get into the signs, I want to clarify this. Okay, there's a difference between loneliness and purposeful isolation. Okay, there's a big difference between being a lonely freak, being a miserable freak whom nobody wants to be around, being a lonely freak, and a purposeful isolation. Okay, so with that being said, now let's get into the video, guys. 5 signs you are being called into isolation. Sign number 1 is that you become easily agitated, you become irritable around other people. You have people that you normally hang with, okay? And you do activities with these people on a regular basis. But when you're being called into isolation, you suddenly begin to feel irritated around these people. Okay, it would come off as if they have offended you somehow out of nowhere. Okay, these are the people you've been with. These are the people you always roll with. These are the people you're always hanging with, and suddenly you are being irritated by their presence. You are being annoyed by sometimes even their voices. Okay, you can't stand being around them anymore out of the blue. Okay, you are not enjoying your time with them anymore, essentially, right? So that's the first sign that you're being called into isolation. When you become easily irritable around the folks that you normally hang with, the folks that you're normally with, now all of a sudden you've become easily irritable. You've become, you're constantly getting agitated just by being with them. You can't stand them anymore, it feels like. That's sign number 1, you're being called into isolation. Sign number 2 is that you become sensitive to the environment. By the environment, I mean outside. I mean the places where you normally go, the places where you normally hang out. All of a sudden you become sensitive. All right, you go out there, it feels like there's too many people around. All of a sudden you go out there, it feels like it's too loud. You go out there, you feel lonely, though you may be surrounded by a bunch of people. You go out there, you feel there's some things there that you just don't want to be a part of. Okay, you are essentially being called into isolation when you experience this, because this has been your normal, right? This has been the things that you normally do, the places that you normally go, and suddenly you can't stand going to these places anymore. All of a sudden, when you go to these places, you find something that will tick you off. It could be, people talking and you find it to be too loud. It could be someone playing music. You may find that to be irritating. You may find that to be too loud. You may suddenly find the lighting too bright. It's almost seems like you're looking for an excuse to not go there, right? But guys, this is all as another sign that you're being called into isolation, okay? Another thing is that you go outside. Outside is huge, is open, is wide, right? But when you go outside, suddenly it feels like outside is getting smaller on you. Outside is closing in on you. Feels like the walls outside are closing in on you. Okay? Although there may not be any walls, but you feel like you're being closed in when you're outside suddenly. Okay? That's another reason, guys. All right? When you become sensitive to the environment, that means you're being called in to isolate. Sign number 3 is you no longer enjoy being with others. Okay? You no longer enjoy being with others. You suddenly, like sign number 1, the people you normally hang with, go places with, do things with, have fun with, build all these memories with, now when you're around them, you don't have fun. Okay, you may go do activities with them, you may go places with them, all of that, but you're just not having fun anymore. Okay, it's just like you're just going along just to go along. Okay, you may start getting irritable with their presence. Being with them has suddenly changed. Okay, you used to be with them to be able to go out with them. Maybe you go shopping, you go do activities, you have fun with them, you do things with them. But suddenly now, it's like, okay, now you're no longer having fun. Huh? You go and hang with them, it's like you're just going through the motions, or you're doing it out of a sense of obligation. But you don't really want to do it. You're not having fun. You're just there to be there. Okay. This is another sign that you're being called into isolation, guys. Okay. When you're suddenly no longer having fun with the folks, you no longer find joy being with them anymore, that's an indicator that you're being called into isolation. Sign number 4 is that you no longer find joy in your regular activities. Okay, this is another one. You probably have some form of a routine where you normally do, right? You go places, you hang out, you see certain people, you communicate with them, the whole 9, right? Suddenly now you have absolutely no joy at all in your normal activities, and the things that you normally do, you don't find any joy in them anymore. Nothing happened. No one offended you, but suddenly you're not having fun. You've become bored all of a sudden with the activities that you normally do. Okay, this is essentially an indicator that you need to switch it up, right? You need to mix it up a little, all right? And so you may suddenly find yourself changing up your routines, and no matter what it is that you do, you still not getting any results, right? You still feel isolated. Okay, you still feel like you're not having fun no matter what. Okay, you just become boring with your activities. They become so mundane out of nowhere. Okay, that's another indicator that you're being called into isolation. Okay, when suddenly your regular activities have become so mundane, they've become so boring, that's another indicator that you're being called into isolate. And the last sign, guys, is you begin to feel like you need time alone. Okay, with all of these signs we went over, now you begin to feel like you need to spend some time alone, or you begin to enjoy being by yourself all of a sudden. Okay, you probably were someone who was the life of the party. You always get the crew together and have fun, and suddenly you feel like you don't want to do that anymore. Okay, you feel like you have more fun when you're by yourself now. Okay, you feel like you need some time to be by yourself. You feel like you want to reflect. You feel like you want to introspect. You feel like you want to read a book. You feel like you want to be alone, essentially. Okay, the thing is, how I said earlier, you start not having fun with the people anymore. You start not having fun with others anymore. You start not having fun with the activities anymore. Now you find joy in being by yourself. Okay, you starting to see a pattern where you have more fun when you're alone. Right? You feel more joy when you're alone. You feel more at peace when you're alone. Okay? This is another indicator that you're being called into isolation. All right? Now, as I said earlier, guys, the isolation is very vital for someone on an awakening journey. Okay? So, if you're experiencing any of these signs, guys, then it's a big indicator that you're being called into isolate. All right, that you're being called in to spend some time alone. Although isolation may not be pleasant, like I said, okay, it may not be pleasant, it's a very crucial part of the awakening journey. Okay, so cherish it when the time comes for you. All right, because there's a lot more to gain for the awakening empath. There's a lot more to gain for you. Okay, so I hope I made it clear enough, guys. If you enjoyed the message, then drop us a like, and if you're new here, then take a moment to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be notified next time we upload. We do our best to upload every single day. We discuss spirituality, personal development, and narcissism on the channel. So if any of that appeals to you, or if you feel called to, then by all means, join us, and I promise you will not regret that decision. Also, share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your experiences in the comment section. If there's anything you would like to add, by all means, add it in the comment section. And also share these messages with your loved ones so we can all continue to learn together. Okay, each one teach one. Other than that, guys, I'll leave this here. Until next time, peace, love, and more life.